On a cold morning in Tokyo, 72-year-old Yasuzawa Inoue rose at 4 a.m., as he did every day. His ingrained habit of waking early persisted even in his later years. Already shaved, Mr. Inoue donned his hotel uniform: white shirt, black vest, black tie, and a cap with the logo. Looking in the mirror, he sighed. Well, let's give it our all today too, Inoue. He worked at a 5-star luxury hotel in Roppongi, frequented by dignitaries. Once the head of staff, now, at his age, he managed the parking lot, a task far from easy. On the metro to work, he was just another elderly man in the crowd, unnoticed by all. Mr. Inoue, so early, so diligent at your age, a young employee greeted him briefly upon arrival. Inoue smiled and headed to the staff entrance with a slightly slow but not lazy gait. In the lobby, he met Junichiro Matsumoto, the 35-year-old impeccably dressed hotel manager. Mr. Inoue, we have important clients this afternoon, U.S. military officials. Do as you always do, Matsumoto said, cutting him off before he could suggest anything. The important cars will be handled by the younger staff. Just direct them where to park. No need for speed in that. Matsumoto walked away, oblivious to the sadness in Inoue's eyes. Such situations were commonplace, and he wondered if the manager noticed the condescension in his words. In the break room, Inoue overheard the younger parking attendant's cruel mockery of his slowness and age, heedless of being overheard. They spoke of tips and how Inoue was taking their place. Their words stung like thorns, but he feigned indifference, though today he felt a particular heaviness. They used to respect me, he thought silently. The parking lot was spacious and clean. Every morning, Inoue inspected it meticulously, a diligence unmatched by others, but seen as slowness by the young. Mr. Inoue, why are you so slow with the tickets? Don't make people wait, snapped the supervisor, Tamiko Sato. Humble, Inoue apologized and tried to hurry, though his fingers didn't respond as quickly. During lunch, he ate alone, occasionally, hearing words like old and nuisance amid the young workers' laughter. Looking in the mirror, he saw a tired old man, yet with a deep strength in his eyes. Mr. Inoue, clean up here before the VIPs arrive, Matsumoto ordered. Inoue nodded, grabbed a broom, and swept with solitary dignity. In the elevator, he reflected on his life. He needed steady income for his family, and had been in this role for over 8 years. Mr. Inoue, a hand here, a young worker called, only wanting help moving heavy equipment, his experience unneeded. Understood, he replied, hiding his frustration. At noon, Matsumoto gathered the staff with a serious expression. At 4 p.m., U.S. military officials arrive. This is a big opportunity. Let's provide impeccable service. He assigned tasks, the fastest to VIP valet, and to Inoue, after a pause, you, as always, just direct where to park. The VIP service will be handled by Sato. You're older and a bit slow. The last phrase, though spoken quietly, cut deeply. Inoue nodded silently. By afternoon, the hotel buzzed with activity. Inoue was assigned to direct cars at the entrance. The winter air was cold. I feel a tightness in my chest today, he murmured. The officials' cars, luxury sedans and SUVs arrived, and the young staff rushed to serve. The officials barely acknowledged Inoue. In a corner, he recalled his youth when he was respected, the loneliness of age weighing on him. A large black sedan with a small flag pulled up, likely carrying a high-ranking official. The nervous young staff hesitated, unsure about speaking English. Instinctively, Inoue stepped forward. I'll handle it, he said firmly. Sato, after a moment's hesitation, smirked. Your hands aren't shaking. The driver's window lowered, revealing a U.S. soldier. Surprisingly, fluent English flowed from Inoue. Welcome, he greeted courteously, his heart pounding. The rear window lowered, revealing a brigadier general with 2 stars. Their eyes met surprise, curiosity, a hint of recognition. Inoue felt he'd seen him before. This way, please, Inoue said, guiding the car to the VIP area with a steady voice. Sato was stunned. As Inoue parked the car perfectly, he felt the general's gaze. Then the general stepped out and approached, with certainty in his eyes. He asked in English, "Excuse me, are you Major Inoue?" Inoue's heart skipped. It had been over 20 years since he'd heard that title. He looked up, his expression shifting, the face of a former soldier resurfacing. "Yes, I am," he replied. A wide smile broke across the general's face. The other employees watched, baffled. Sato whispered, "Why's that officer treating the old man like that?" The general, excited, continued, "Major Inoue, what a joy to find you here!" Moved, Inoue asked, "How long has it been? Are you James Taylor, that rookie from the Pacific maneuvers in Showa 62, 1987? A spark of memory lit his face. "Yes, I'm Brigadier General James Taylor. It's an honor you remember me, Major." Taylor saluted militarily. The employees were stunned. Matsumoto, witnessing the scene, froze. After a moment, Inoue returned the salute with the dignity of his 30 years of service. "Good to see you, General. How have you been?" His voice was steady. The staff grew more confused. Sato was at a loss. Other U.S. officers, noticing the commotion, stepped out and saluted Inoue. The sight of high-ranking officers showing respect to a parking attendant was surreal. Matsumoto approached, perplexed. "Is there a problem?" General Taylor turned to him. "Oh, the manager? Do you know this man?" Matsumoto, flustered, replied, "Yes, he's one of our parking attendants." Taylor was shocked. "Parking attendant? Major Inoue?" Looking at Inoue with deep admiration, he continued, "This man is a former member of Japan's Maritime Self-Defense Force Special Forces, a legend who led our troops in the 1987 Pacific maneuvers." Silence fell. All eyes turned to Inoue. Taylor added, "Thanks to his strategy, I, a rookie, completed an impossible mission. He's one of Japan's most brilliant maritime strategists." Another officer stepped forward. "Major Inoue of Operation Hidden Sea." Inoue nodded modestly. "It was a top-secret, successful operation, undisclosed due to its confidentiality." Patting Inoue's shoulder, Taylor said, "I never imagined seeing you again, Major. Would you join us for dinner?" It was a sincere invitation. After hesitating, Inoue accepted. The general and his colleagues surrounded Inoue, their eyes full of respect and curiosity. A young officer asked how he joined the Special Forces. Slightly embarrassed, Inoue replied, "I just wanted to protect my country. No special reason." His simplicity impressed them further. "Let's head to the restaurant," Taylor urged. The employees began to realize the old man they mocked was a national hero. Sato muttered, shocked, "That man was someone so incredible." The disbelief grew. Inoue's walk to the restaurant was different, filled with military dignity. The sight of officers surrounding him respectfully was a shock. At the restaurant entrance, Matsumoto, stunned, ordered the VIP room prepared. As Inoue passed, Matsumoto bowed awkwardly. "Mr. Inoue, I'll escort you." Inoue nodded calmly, his eyes showing understanding, not resentment. The VIP room transformed as Inoue and the officers sat, served exquisite dishes. Taylor said, "Major, in our unit, the 1987 maneuvers are still legendary. Your operational plan is used as teaching material." Inoue smiled modestly. "I just did my duty." Another officer added, "Especially Operation Hidden Sea. It's in the manuals. Without your strategy, we wouldn't have located the enemy submarines." Memories of that innovative operation resurfaced in Inoue. In the lobby, employees whispered. Sato found photos of Inoue online. Matsumoto, pale and sweating, wondered, "How much have I disrespected him?" In the VIP room, Inoue offered precise, maritime strategy analyses, impressing the officers with his sharp insight. At dinner's end, Taylor asked, "Major, pardon my intrusion, but why work here?" Inoue smiled. "Why I left the military and work here, right? Taylor nodded. Inoue explained, "Life is about choices. I left the self-defense forces for my family. My wife was gravely ill. My children needed care. I just wanted a normal life." There was no regret in his voice. Taylor expressed deep respect. Inoue added, "The size of the job doesn't matter, but the seriousness with which you face it." His words moved the officers. A spark of determination shone in Taylor's eyes. "Major, if it's not too much, allow me a proposal." Meanwhile, in the lobby, word of Inoue's honors spread. Matsumoto, livid, wondered how to apologize. As they left the restaurant, the atmosphere shifted. The entire staff bowed to Inoue. He, surprised but composed, returned the gesture. Taylor bid farewell. "Major, we await your response." After the officers left, Matsumoto rushed to Inoue. His tone changed. "Mr. Inoue, 1,000 apologies. I've gravely disrespected you." Inoue looked at him calmly. "Don't worry. I'm just a parking attendant." The phrase stung Matsumoto, who insisted, "You're a hero. I apologize from the heart." Inoue smiled. "It's in the past." On his way to the break room, he felt respectful gazes. Sato and others apologized sincerely. Inoue smiled, feeling both embarrassed and pleased by the regained respect. A young worker asked how he learned English. "Through my military career," Inoue replied, offering to teach him. The young staff bombarded him with questions about his military life. On the bus home, Inoue reflected, his life had changed in a day. General Taylor's card weighed in his pocket. The proposal was tempting, but he hesitated to leave his routine. At home, his wife greeted him. "Today was special," he said with a smile. That night, he couldn't sleep. The general's proposal echoed, his forgotten military self resurfacing. He rose, opened an old wooden box with military mementos, medals, photos, one from the 1987 maneuvers with a young James Taylor. Back then, he was full of confidence. "Can I be like that again?" he murmured. The next morning at the hotel, the atmosphere was different. Everyone greeted him respectfully. Sato offered to help. Matsumoto called him to his office, the best in the hotel. "Mr. Inoue, I'm sorry for my disrespect," Matsumoto said. "It's in the past," Inoue replied. Matsumoto continued, "The management wants to offer you a new role. VIP customer service advisor, double salary, flexible hours." Inoue was surprised. "Can I think about it?" Matsumoto nodded, asking him to prioritize their offer over the militaries. Inoue smiled and left. That afternoon, the U.S. officers returned, this time with Major General Michael Johnson. "Major Inoue, an honor," said Taylor. Johnson extended his hand. "Your feats are renowned. I'm Major General Michael Johnson." The lobby was captivated. Johnson asked, "Major, have you considered our offer? We need your expertise in our strategic meeting." Inoue replied, "I haven't decided. I must discuss it with my family." Johnson nodded. "Understood, but let me say this." He placed a hand on Inoue's shoulder. "Major Inoue, Japan still needs you." The words hit deeply, meaning more than a job offer. "I'll think it over." "Thank you," Inoue replied respectfully. In the break room, Inoue pondered. 2 cards before him, Taylor's and Matsumoto's. 2 paths. That night, he spoke with his family, sharing everything. They were shocked and proud. "Dad, you are incredible," said his son. His wife supported him. "Choose your path. We'll always back you." His daughter added, "You always sacrificed for us. Now do what you want." Their words moved him. He felt he'd already decided. It was time to use his forgotten strength. The next morning, Inoue arrived at the hotel early, resolute. He knocked on Matsumoto's office door with newfound dignity. "Come in," Matsumoto said, expectant. Inoue entered. "Manager, thank you for your offer. I truly appreciate it." "And?" Matsumoto asked. Inoue looked out the window. I've chosen another path. I'm leaving the hotel today. Disappointment crossed Matsumoto's face. You're taking the American's offer? Inoue nodded. Yes. If my knowledge is still useful, it's my duty to use it. Matsumoto sighed. A pity. If I'd recognized your value sooner... Inoue smiled. Let's not look back. He handed over his resignation. Everything's ready. Matsumoto accepted it respectfully. Mr. Inoue, I'm deeply sorry. I express my sincerest respect. Inoue smiled. As he left, he paused. One thing, don't judge by appearances. Keep that in mind. Matsumoto stood still, Inoue's words resonating. Word spread, Inoue was leaving to advise the US military. Those who had mocked him felt ashamed. At noon, the staff prepared a farewell with a cake and gifts. As Inoue entered, they applauded. Thank you. This wasn't necessary, he said, embarrassed. Sato stepped forward, apologizing sincerely, and presented a framed picture signed, by all. Our hero, Major Inoue. His eyes welled up. Thank you. I wish you all luck. At the end of the lunch, a black sedan arrived. General Taylor came to pick him up. Everyone came out to say goodbye. Matsumoto bowed deeply. Mr. Inoue, success on your new path. Thank you for waking us up. Inoue shook his hand. You'll be a good manager. He bid farewell to the staff and got into the car. As the hotel where he'd spent 8 years faded, it was the end of one chapter and the start of another. Major, we're heading to the Ministry of Defense. You have a meeting with the minister, Taylor said. Inoue nodded, his mind already on his new mission, his strategist instincts awakening. Crossing Tokyo, he looked at the city he'd sworn to protect, now more developed. He had a new chance to serve. Major, our team is perfect now, Taylor said. Inoue smiled. I think so too. At the ministry, guards saluted him. The long forgotten. Pride stirred in his chest. He was Major Inoue again, a hero of Japan. On a sunny spring afternoon, the Tokyo International Convention Center hosted a global military forum. At the entrance, a banner read, Keynote Address, Yasuzawa Inoue, former Major of Japan's Maritime Self-Defense Force Special Forces, current strategic advisor to the Ministry of Defense. Backstage, Inoue reviewed his speech. He seemed transformed. Elegant suit, dignified posture, confident eyes, no trace of the belittled old man. Major Inoue, 3 minutes, an assistant signaled. He nodded, oddly calm. These past months as an advisor had opened a new world. His insight remained sharp. We'll now introduce the speaker, the announcer said. Inoue took a deep breath and stepped onto the stage to warm applause. Military officials, academics, and dignitaries stood. Good morning, everyone. I'm Inoue. His powerful voice resonated. He spoke on East Asian security, his analysis clear and profound. Peace in East Asia begins with mutual understanding and respect. We must learn from the past and build a future together. At the end, a standing ovation followed. He bowed modestly, satisfied. Below, Taylor smiled, giving a thumbs up. At the reception, Inoue conversed fluently in English with dignitaries, always surrounded by those seeking his opinion. Then he saw his family at the entrance. He approached. Thank you for coming, he said, taking his wife's hand. She looked at him proudly. Your speech was wonderful. Now I see how incredible you are. His children gazed at him with pride. His grandson, Minoru, tugged at his clothes. Grandpa, are you the same guy who parked cars? Inoue laughed and ruffled his hair. Yes, but now I do much more. Why's everyone talking about you? Minoru asked. Inoue smiled. It's not about recognition. It's about never losing your value, no matter the situation. His family smiled. Taylor approached. "Major, your speech was magnificent. Many representatives want to meet you." Inoue smiled. "Thank you. Today, I want to be with my family. Meetings start tomorrow." Taylor nodded. "Of course, family first." That night, they dined by the Sumida River, talking about his military days and new role. "At first, I was scared to start something new at my age," he admitted. His wife squeezed his hand. "But you overcame it, as always." His son said, "That's what's amazing about you, Dad. You never lose your value." Inoue smiled. "Working at the hotel taught me a lot. Humility, true value." Strolling by the river, he recalled 8 months ago, feeling belittled. Now, that experience felt valuable, giving him deep insight. "Grandpa, can I be like you?" Minoru asked. Inoue hugged him. "Of course. But remember, it's not others' opinions that matter. It's never losing your value." Under the stars, they headed home. Countless challenges awaited, but he no longer feared. At 72, his new life had just begun. The next morning, Inoue rose early, looking at Tokyo's skyline with gratitude. From a belittled parking attendant to a respected military strategist, his story inspired courage. "Well, let's give it our all today too, Inoue," he murmured, as always. But the meaning was new, a powerful cry toward his new life.